Hello, everybody. It's good to say that Playoff Beers is back. Stanley Cup 2024. Uh, for we're just saying now. Ryan is so excited for Stanley Cup. He believes this is the holiday season. He believes he's
It
good
is the
old.
holidays.
It's going to be
It's
Saint Nick by
it's
the end of this thing.
it's Canadian holiday season. Like,
That's
how can
true,
you
eh?
not think this? Like, playoff hockey is the best thing besides maybe the holiday season.
We'll see. We'll see about that. How dare you? 2.5 months of gift giving. This is what we got coming. Maybe even this thing might even last till July. Oh, it's a slog. The
It,
hardest trophy
it's
in sports to
possible.
win, right? We'll see.
By far, by far.
Yeah. First off, of course, welcome Ryan to the show. So excited to have you on it. So excited that we get the two Canadian perspective. So we get
It's the only.
an outsider's look at hockey. Two Canadians.
It's the only way that this can happen on the LGRN network. You
That's
get the
right.
two Canadians, and you just mash them together and say, just talk about playoff hockey, and it's a beautiful thing.
Sure. Adelia
Hello,
saying hello,
Adelia.
gentlemen.
Hello,
Bonsoir,
Adelia.
Adelia. I'll say that en français just to honor Canada a little bit more. Okay. Stanley Cup 2024. Now, you might be from the greater capital region, Ryan, but you are
Correct.
not a Senators fan. And I don't blame you. Islanders fan and Islanders fan through and through. Like an Islanders fan before there was a Senators, right? You just kept your team.
Absolutely, 100%. Islanders
There you
fan
go.
since the early 80s, since I was just a young boy.
Yeah. So there was a number of changes in Ottawa. The one thing didn't change. They didn't make the playoffs. No playoffs for
Yeah,
them. Oh, and Brady Kachuk
it's
was crying about, this is a real bad year for me. He was like, oh yeah, well, get used to it. They're all going to be bad. So you're going to stick in Ottawa
sorry, Brady.
until he becomes, remembers he's a Kachuk and asks to get the hell out of there. We'll see.
And then he either goes to St. Louis or Florida, and we're all good.
Yeah, he'll go to St. Louis. He'll go to St.
He'll
Louis.
go
I
to
don't
St.
know.
Louis. Oh
Florida
yeah.
can't afford him. Florida can't afford him. They're paying his
No,
brother
St.
however much, and they've got
Yeah,
Barkov and everybody else they have to pay down there. Yeah, no, they ain't paying him.
yeah.
Uh, One thing I will say is your team also made a change this year that really seemed to work out in their favor somehow. I did not believe it when I saw it, but adding Patrick Watt to your coaching staff, what a difference.
I was when I first heard of it, I was flabbergasted to say the least.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, now, with that being said, Lou Lamoriello will do what Lou Lamoriello wants,
That's true.
and that's fine. But I thought bringing Patrick Wine was, I'm not going to say a mistake, but I thought that it was like he's really changed his coaching style since when he first came in with Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And then going throughout the years, and then with the Quebec Rampart,
Mm-hmm.
he seemed to be. I don't think he's changed with the way he coaches people. I think he's changed the way that he styles his coaching.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he still holds accountability, which is great. He seems to be, he holds people accountable, but he's fair at the same time, if we can say that.
Maybe maybe the anger tempers a little bit with age and stuff like that. You can tell even a couple of years ago, especially when his kid was playing Quebec and stuff too, that he was still
Oh
the
yeah.
Patrick Waugh of old.
Oh,
But yeah, you can notice that maybe
he's still.
also it's
I think he still has
Lamoriello.
that.
There's like
He still has that in him, but I think he's learned to maybe keep that for the playoffs that we're going to talk about.
we'll see, we'll see. Of course, maybe not the best time to blow your stack in the playoffs, but maybe he doesn't have much time there anyways, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Hard to
let's
say.
get into this.
Let's
Talk
do
about
it.
the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference matchups. Let's start with Florida and Tampa. Let's talk about the other. Chuck. We'll talk about Tampa. Florida, the
Beautiful.
surprise run last year. No one, I don't think anyone thought they were going to beat Boston. Managed to beat Boston. They take out the Leafs, which is,
Well, whatever.
Now Tampa had won 2 Stanley Cups in the last 4 years. They had shown up in 3, but let's see what they look like this year. But now let's start with look at the goaltending. Bobrovsky for Florida, a good record, 36, 17, and 4. He had a 237 goals against average. And then
a very good year.
Then the one goaltender that, even if there's a certain player that may have had a season for the ages and stuff like that, there's still league-wide, there's a player that most players will say, this is the guy I want in net when it comes down to having to win one game. And it's Andrei Vasilevsky. Even though he missed out the first 20 games of the year, still had a 30-20 record, 2.90 goals against average. Not Vasilevsky-esque, but he, like the team, getting a little bit older. They've played so much hockey. That's one thing I'll say. They have played
absolutely,
absolutely.
Like over the last 5 years, unreal.
Yeah. I give the edge still to Vasilevsky and the Lightning in that one. Let's do the forwards. Again, if you look at the top couple of guys for each team, pretty similar stuff. Sam Reinhart had a hell of a season for Florida. 57 goals for Sam Reinhart.
I don't. Yeah, again, I appreciate the year he had. I think it's a great year. I don't think he will duplicate it, but hey, we're not talking about next year or the year after. We're talking about this year. I think, yes, Sam Reinhart, but I just don't know who else can come up behind him and keep Florida going.
That's true. It's not like they're going to get a decent draft pick over the next little while. Their forwards are all going to be pretty much set in stone for a little while. Matthew Tkachuk, points wise, not the best year of his career. Obviously, he's a huge downgrade, but he's in Maurice's system. He has to be more reliable defensively than anything else, and he's done a good job when you look at that. And they still have Barkov, so lots of weapons for Florida. As for the Lightning, did you ever think that Nikita Kucherov would get 100 assists in a season?
I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
Just because the amount of firepower that is on Tampa. And I will say this. Tampa's power play is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So, I mean, if you give them any opportunity on that power play, I don't care who you are, Nikita Kucherov is going to be in on one of those goals.
Yep. Top ranked power play in the league this year. But
against Florida, who was, now this is a stat, Florida was the second ranked penalty minute team in the league.
Yeah.
They were top 2 in penalty minutes. So if you go by that, if Florida allows Tampa to get on power plays, I'm sorry, I don't know. I think Florida is in for a world of hurt.
It could change things, but most of the game is played 5-on-5, and Florida were terrific 5-on-5, only allowing per game 2.41 goals. Finished second to a team we'll talk about later for the Jennings Trophy for the least goals allowed. Again, it's good. It's great team defense from forwards to the back. For the Lightning, they have Victor Hedman. That's usually good enough. So I would still say
usually
defensively,
it has been in the past. Yes, it has been
defensively.
In the past.
I would give the edge to Florida. For the forwards, I'm giving the edge to Tampa, obviously. Now, like I said, for the X factors, we already mentioned them. Great team defense for Florida, and the best power play in the NHL for Tampa. It can hurt you so many ways. May come down to goaltending, but who is your guess?
No,
go ahead. Tell me about the goaltending.
You see, goaltending is going to be like in this year's playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Goaltending is going to be the common denominator for a lot of these series.
What I think is going to come down to is Florida has home ice advantage and last change. So they can put their best defensive matchup against Tampa. Tampa has two really good lines. After that, it can be, a little hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, again, it's just that last change. It's hard to discount. Also, Tampa's the team that lost to Toronto and broke the streak in so many of my jokes. So no way I'm choosing those guys. I'm picking Florida in 7. How about you?
Okay, so my biggest takeaway from this series is Florida has to stay out of the penalty box.
Yep.
If they stay out of the penalty box, I believe that they will beat Tampa, but I don't think Florida has the discipline to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to take Tampa in 6.
Ooh, Tampa in 6. Okay, I like it. Win it on home ice. They're going to win it on home ice, according to Ryan. All right, I like it. All right, let's move on.
Fire.
Well, to a match that I'm always willing to talk about. Boston versus Toronto.
Wow. We've never seen this before.
No, Boston has won the season series 4-0 with 2 overtime wins and that. Let's start with the goaltending. All right. Boston has Swayman and Ullmark. And Toronto has Ilya
Samsonov.
Yep. I think Boston has an edge. I think Boston has a reigning Vezina Trophy winner, and the Leafs have Samsonov. Remember when they sent Samsonov down? They brought him back up, and he went on a pretty good run. And
he was like 21-2 or something.
They were going to anoint him. They were like the Toronto TSN was going to anoint this guy king of Toronto and stuff like that, and he's come back down to earth. I was 100% the advantage in that goes to Boston. Let's talk.
That's fair.
But let's talk about defense. I think this is more of it's a draw. I don't think each other's defensive pairings are any stronger than anybody else's anymore. There's no Chara advantage anymore for Boston. Has been
no. Boston this year especially, I think they've regressed in their defensive play.
Yep.
I'm not saying Toronto has progress, but Toronto hasn't gotten any worse.
I think also with Boston, it's you lose your top 2 centers, you have to bring in guys and stuff like that. It's like even though they've been fine. They just aren't at the level of like a.
That's my one factor.
What are you gonna do?
That's my one factor that we will bring up when we discuss our predictions.
You're right. Now let's go to the forwards. And you didn't think that Pasternak lit up the sheets or anything. It's not like it was like in the last couple of years where you're just thinking Pasternak. He still finished with 110 points.
Oh, he was still fantastic.
Yeah. He got more.
It's just he had nobody else.
Yeah, if you look at Marchand, I think was 50 points behind him or something like that. Crazy.
It was something. It was 50 or 52 or something like that. It was like it's Pasternak or it's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. But they find team wins. They went out to such a strong start. I believe they were 11-1-1. I think to start the year. Of course, obviously slid back down and whatever. Big loss to the Jets before Christmas really put them back in their place. I'm going to say that. Let's see, but you think Toronto, and that's what you think is forwards, right? This is what they are. They've put all their money up front. They've given it to
Toronto. Toronto has the second-ranked offense in the league.
They got Marner, who only got 89 points. They got William Nylander, who really slid over the last month and a half or so. Still had 98 points.
Oh, he should have. He was off to a hot start. Everybody thought,
They gave him so much money.
They give him. They did. And you know what? I'm not saying he's not worth it.
They're wingers. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It'll always drive me nuts. But Toronto's always going to try and shoot themselves in the foot. Let's not,
100%.
they know their problem is goaltending. They know their problem is keeping the puck out of the net. So let's just try and put more in. Let's just try and outscore everybody. It's always worked since 1967.
That's right. That's right. It's a run and gun game for them.
Matthews, 69 goals. They were having huge splash pages behind the TSN guys about the run to 70. I remember when this guy right here, as a rookie, got 76.
Are we talking Mr. Teemu Selanne?
I remember seeing that a bunch. I don't think they ever mentioned it. Like, I think they didn't even notice till he was shooting his glove out of the air versus Quebec. Unbelievable. 69 goals, so great. They were saying, it's the best since it's the best
since Lemieux.
The salary cap era, the best
salary cap era. That's right.
Yeah, because all right. Oh,
and I'm not going to say it wasn't for lack of trying. I'm not going to say it wasn't lack of trying. He had 12 shots in the last game against Tampa.
They said
he tried.
They said it was a distraction, a big distraction. Everyone just trying to feed him and him just looking and stuff like that. It's like he's supposed to still be a center. He's supposed to still be a center.
That's still a Toronto Maple Leaf excuse. That's a Toronto Maple Leaf excuse. Always has
69 goals, 38 assists for your number one center. Maybe not great. Let's go down to some X factors. Do you have any X factors about this matchup?
I think my X factors for Toronto are going to be Tyler Bertuzzi, and Max Domi. Those are your two X factors for Toronto. You brought these players in just because of how you lost to Boston in many and many a playoff rounds.
Mm-hmm.
You were out tough. You were out gritted. You were out this. You were out that. You brought these players in. Yeah. Okay, Ferris. Thank you. Domi. Do I think that's going to bring him up? Yeah. Ty's up here. Max is down here. But that's neither here nor there. Do I think that'll put Toronto over the hump? I don't know. I think if Toronto has a year to beat Boston, this is the year. And again, I will make my prediction right now, and then you can make yours.
Sure.
I think this is the first year Toronto is facing Boston in the playoffs without a certain captain that Boston has had for a long time.
Patrice Bergeron. He was definitely a captain.
Captain.
Yeah, well, I guess Chara before that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Chara was for a bit. But in the same token, they do not have Bergeron. I believe this is a different Boston team than what we have seen in years past.
Yep.
I do believe Toronto gets it done. I believe they get it done in 6.
You did predict. I remember last year you predicted the Leafs to beat the Tampa, and it went through. And I will say this: I wrote down one sentence for my X factors on this. When it comes down to it, they're still the Leafs. So I said Boston in 7, and I bet you they're going to be. I bet you Boston's going to be down by like 5 in the third period this time, and they come back to destroy them again.
Wouldn't that just be like bittersweet irony if that did happen again?
I think
the only difference is it'd be Samsonov in the net, not Reimer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're about the same. We'll bounce around.
True.
I think they're both going to bounce around a bit. Because Toronto has to invest in goaltending either by drafting or by
they can't pay one.
They got to get rid of somebody to get one. So we'll see.
They can't pay one. So
nope, they cannot. All right, let's go to Rangers and Washington. Surprising sure. This one. Yeah, it's the season series was 2-2.
Yeah, well, that's to me that's
means nothing.
That's misleading. That's misleading.
It means nothing.
I have the Rangers in 4. I have the Rangers in 4.
I got Rangers in 5. So very very close.
I have the Rangers sweeping. Like I mean, I'm sorry. Like I appreciate and once we get to our individual trophies, I will talk about a certain Washington player or person.
Sure.
But They did great just to make it. They were gifted it by
What a
Philadelphia.
weird way to get in. What a weird way to get in.
They were
So strange.
gifted by Philadelphia. And it's not just with Tortorella pulling that goalie with 4 minutes left.
He said he did it on purpose. There's no way. There's no way he did it on purpose.
No. Philadelphia crapped the bed when they lost 8 straight. All they had to do was win 1 or 2 of those games, and Washington would not have made it.
Yep. They just need one more point, bro.
So I agree. I appreciate Washington making it in. You know what? It's great for players like Ovechkin and Oshie. But I'm sorry, going up against the Rangers with Shesterkin and that offense, it's 4 straight.
Yeah, pick your poison with those guys. Let's see some notes here. The goaltending is Shesterkin 36-17-2. Washington's going to start Charlie Lindgren. So
yeah, thanks for coming out.
For defense, I didn't even write any of the guys that the Rangers have. I just wrote down that Washington had a -36 goal differential, and the guy who's probably going to have the all-time leader in goals scored in the league.
To be perfectly honest, I didn't write any notes for this except Rangers in 4.
Yeah, you didn't need to. Panarin had a great year, 49 goals and 120 points. Ovechkin got up to 31 goals somehow, considering how slowly he started, but still a -22. A -22.
Wow, yeah, you just look at Washington's plus minus, and it's
it's not great.
Just be thankful. Just be thankful you made it the first round.
Yeah. So I said Rangers in 5 as well. I know you got the sweep, but I said 5. Maybe Washington squeaks one out. They might. They can win one at home. All right. Sure. Let's move on to the one that you're probably more interested in. Carolina and the Islanders. They split the season.
Repeat of last year. Yeah.
2-1-1. Now, much for the goaltending, I'm still not quite sure who's going to be starting for they could change it anytime. Freddie Anderson kind of ended the season for Carolina.
I think they're kind of leaning towards him to be the starter for game 1.
Yeah. Kochetkov had a good season. There was nothing wrong with it. He had a 237 goals against average. So not so bad. And for the Islanders, Varlamov has been playing a lot lately, which is surprising, seeing how you have Sorokin on your team as well.
Sorokin is our number 1. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
They're very close in goals against average. I found that to be quite strange. So I think that bodes well for your team, just giving up a 918 for Varlamov and 919 for Sorokin. So very similar numbers there. Sorokin with the 25 wins, though. So how do you not play?
Yeah.
Let's go on to defense here. Let's see. The Canes are plus 63 in goal differential. They're 4th in goals against. You guys have the Islanders. All right, offense. Let's see. Sebastian Aho had 89 points. Gunsel has 77. And they had 25 points. 25 points in 17 games from coming over. He's a winger, though.
I love my Islanders. I do.
Yeah, Barzal had 80 points, which is a good year. Followed up by Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson was your second highest score.
Where's Bo Horvat?
Where's Bo Horvat? I'm pretty sure Lou Lamoriello has asked the exact.
I'm pretty sure he's still in Vancouver,
eating his hat because he had to give him all that money. He hated that.
Lou did, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
Going back to the earlier comments, when we first started about Patrick Waugh.
Sure.
I don't think they could have done any worse, and I don't think they could have done any better. I think he was just somebody that was brought. He was just a perfect person to bring in at this point of the season for that team. Do I think going forward he is the coach? No, I don't.
I would rather see you guys get rid of Lamoriello than get rid of Waugh at this point. Lou Lamoriello was a great GM 30 years ago.
Well, then as far as I'm concerned, then the league needs to get rid of Lou Lamoriello because he's even if he gets out of Long Island, that they relieve him, he's going to get picked up by somebody.
It's strange. It's crazy. They just love old guys in this league. They love them.
Oh,
Well,
and there's nothing
sometimes
wrong
it
with
works out.
Lamoriello.
I think the Jets have the oldest coach in the league. He's done pretty good this year. I remember when
he has done pretty good.
Yeah, he used to play for them back when Ducky was a rookie, for God's sake. So, anyways.
So this series, Snark, what do you have? What do you predict?
The X factors in this, the Canes have the second best power play in the league, and they're the best team on the penalty kill. So I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Is the big thing.
Yeah, I said with respect to my co-host, Canes in 5.
I have Carolina in 5 as well.
Well, there you go. We got one that matchup. We got one that matches up.
It hurt me to put that down, but
I'm sure it did.
My head outweighed my heart, and Carolina is a much better team than the New York Islanders. They have a chance to run the East. So
yeah, a lot of people really like their chances. So now I'm just saying medically, I think your head should always outweigh your heart, medically speaking.
Medically, well, no, your heart should always weigh out your head, shouldn't it?
I think medically, I don't know. This thing's
medically. If you have no heart, you have no. Okay, well, whatever. That's a discussion.
I'm just talking pure weight. I'm just talking about
pure weight. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the Western Conference of the National Hockey League.
This will get saucy.
This is weird. When I was looking at this and looking at like the season series and stuff like that, it's like this is going against everything that I was going to predict or whatever. I still predicted the way I was going to go, but yeah, let's go into it. Dallas, Vegas. That's the prize that the Stars get for winning the best record in the Western Conference. Yeah, the best record in the Western Conference. They get the defending champs, who did the exact same thing as last year. Just hide.
Who are fully healthy now all of a sudden. Fully healthy.
I almost cried because of the miracle of Mark Stone.
Oh, did you see that? Yeah.
Walking into practice fully healed.
I'm good. Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. How much money did they give Noah Hannafin when this guy was out on long-term injury?
I don't understand what their their salary cap must be like, not even. I don't know. Is it yen? It's a different currency. It's a different currency.
Last year, I think they were $20-something million over, right? So I don't know what it's going to be this year, but it's going to be a lot. As soon as the playoffs are over, they have to drop players again and stuff like that. But you have to say the one thing about the ownership and the management there, they're ruthless. They know what they want. They want to win. So they don't give a shit.
And that's
players,
fine.
whatever,
and that's fine.
Yeah, bring them in.
And that's fine.
But tough matchup for them in first round. Let's look at the goaltending, where I think there's an obvious edge for Dallas. Jake
Ottinger,
yeah, not the best year for him. Over 3 goals against average or whatever. And Scott Wedgwood, his backup was also very good for him. So if
he was actually for a backup,
yeah. Now Vegas had the same kind of last year they had Laurent Brossoit as well, but they had Logan Thompson, they had Aiden Hill. It's Thompson, Aiden Hill still. Aiden Hill, the big surprise, I think, of last year's playoffs. I think he was their fourth ranked goaltender or whatever going into the thing.
He was, yeah.
He sticks around in this. He had a 909 save percentage this year. Thompson a 908. 25 wins for Thompson, 19 for Hill. I would say when you look at the two just pure goaltenders or whatever, you're more afraid of going up against Jake Ottinger. So I think obviously,
absolutely,
the advantage goes to them. Now, I put the forwards on next. Forwards are actually, again, between the two, really tight. Jason Robertson, 80 points this year for the Stars, a little bit of a dip, but he was, I think he was asked to play more of a defensive role and stuff like that too.
He was. Yeah.
Joe Pavelski is still contributing at his age, 69 points.
Oh, absolutely.
For Vegas, Jonathan Marchessault, one of the original, 69 points. And Joe Eichel had 68 points in 69 games or something like that for him. So, again, there's nothing to choose from. There's nothing to choose from the forwards. For the defense, the Stars are big and mobile.
They
so
are.
Are the Knights. They're big and mobile.
The Knights are probably bigger and mobile.
Yeah, and they got Noah Hannafin now.
That's right.
I don't know if that's the X factor or what though. This was the hardest one to pick. This was the hardest one to pick for me throughout the playoffs.
Well, okay. Well, I have another series in the West that's, to me, that was harder to pick.
Yeah, maybe.
But I also think too. So my biggest thing is, I think, looking at both teams, looking at both offenses, I think Dallas is more balanced
for
offensively.
For sure.
So I'm going, okay. So you have like your first and second line are like two top lines on any other team.
Yep.
To me, the biggest factors are Dallas's young kids. Like you have Stankoven.
Yep.
And then you have the other, I can't remember what the other young lad's name is, but they're just very, very good. And I'm not saying like Vegas doesn't have good role players in the third and fourth lines. I just think Dallas is more balanced. So when I take that into consideration, defensively, they're both big. They're both agile. They're both going to do what they do.
Yep.
Goaltending wise, I obviously put the edge on Dallas. I go Dallas, and I'm saying 5 games.
Ooh, you're saying it fast. Wow-wee. All right. I like it. I like the guts you have. I went the other way. I said my X factor is that the Knights play dirty to get in. They cheat, they claw, they bite. They do whatever it takes to get into the playoffs, and with as many advantages as they can. But when they get there, they know how to do with it. A weird play knocked them out a couple of years ago. Of course, winning the Stanley Cup last year, making it to the finals in their first year. They know how to win in the playoffs. The Stars made it to the Stanley Cup finals in the bubble year.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm just saying the experience of them winning the cup last year is going to push Vegas over Dallas. And I can't even say this is an upset at the 8th seed. I'm going to say Vegas in 7th.
Wow. Okay, that's fair. Like that's
this is a coin toss. If Dallas does win in 5, I'll go, okay, they'll prove it. Like this isn't a thing where it's going to be a fluke. If they win in 5, it's like they proved it.
Like if Dallas wins in 5, wins in 7, or whatever, I don't think it'd be a surprise to anybody, whichever team wins.
Yep, 100%. Okay, let's move on.
Which one's next?
The matchup I'm most interested in.
Oh, this is the one I need to get circled. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Jets and Avs. I was going to say another one just for a joke, but I couldn't manage it. Jets and Avs. The Jets controlled the season series. They went 3-0. Goaltending.
What?
Yeah. One of them has Hellebuck. The other one has Georgiev. Okay.
Is it Georgiev they're going with?
Yep. Well, yeah. 100%. Let's see. Forwards. I will say this. Like, Scheifele had the most points for us at 72. The other guys have
near Colorado.
They have somebody pretty good. They have someone pretty good.
They have.
Of course,
they
this
have
is the one that Adelia is also most interesting. So, I will say this. Yeah, Nathan McKinnon, incredible,
phenomenal.
We'll talk about the trophy stuff later. I'm going to say this. Now I'm going to bring it up in the X Factor. Let's bring it up in the X Factor. Defense. The Jets won the Jennings Trophy. They allowed less than 200 goals this year. and then again Hellebuck, but it's team defense. It's from the first lane
Okay.
to the fourth. Everybody works as a unit. Defensively, the Jets are much better than the Avalanche, even though the Avs have the best player at the position in Cale Makar in the series by far. 90 points.
You're being very political right now, which is nice to hear.
Josh Morrissey is a great player, but he's not Makar. I didn't say that. I love Josh Morrissey. But yeah, he's not Cale Makar. X Factor. The only X Factor, I'm going to say, and again, this is something that bites this team all the time because there's like this, there's this myth about the whiteout and how intimidating it is. It's great. It's awesome to be a part of. I've only ever watched it work in my life 3 times. Once against the Flames, maybe twice against the Flames as a kid, and then the Wild and the Predators in that run we got to the Western Finals in 2018. It worked then. After that, like we lost both games to Vegas last year at home, even though we probably should have won that overtime game in Game 3, but we didn't. So, and then got the hell beaten out of us in Game 4. The Jets outscored the Avalanche 17-4 this year. The Jets are going to have last change on McKinnon, and it's going to be Adam Lowry. I don't know if McKinnon got 1 goal against the Jets this year in 3 games, maybe 2. You can shut them. We can shut them down. These guys have to play tight. The Jets don't take penalties anymore. It's not like it was where we were a penalty happy squad, always like too slow of foot and stuff like that. We're in the right positions when we play the system. We're great. Now we're a very streaky team. Yeah, we're very. I'm not like this. Honestly, Adelia, this is a toss up. Like I'm saying all these good things about the Jets, but they're still the Jets. The Jets just seem to shoot themselves in the foot more often than not. But I am going to say they're so streaky. They had the huge winning streak early in the season, then lost a bunch. They lose 6 games in a row, then they win the last 8 games of the season. Which team are going to but in that last 8 games, they beat the Predators. Maybe shouldn't have. Did beat the Predators, embarrassed the Stars on their home ice, and embarrassed Colorado, even worse on theirs. So I am going to go for Jets in 7. I hope it doesn't sound like a homer call to me.
It's definitely
or to anybody else. But I just think the Jets as a team are stronger. If all things being fair, if Colorado's captain was playing, maybe it's a different story because he can cause so much shit. But he's not. He's been out for 2 years. So what are you gonna do? I'm saying Jets in 7.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think it could go like this. This series can go either way. Like this is the one series I don't have a circle around any team. Because it's just, to me, it's just too hard to pick. Bottom line is, you're correct. Your X factors are your goaltenders. If Colorado comes in with the goaltending that they've had the last 5 games of the regular season, it's not even going to go to 7. It'll be a 5 or 6 game series. If you can get,
it's still the playoffs. It's still the playoffs.
Like it's a different ball game, Adelia. It's a different ball game, Adelia. I think if you can get credible, I'm not saying steal showing, but credible goaltending from Grigoriev, I do believe Colorado can win this series because they have an offense. And no offense to Winnipeg with their defense and Hellebuck, because they have been great all year. They've been the best all year. Playoffs is a totally different animal.
Yeah, and for sure, Hellebuck is 2 different players. He's regular season and playoffs Hellebuck. And there, when he gets to be Hellebuck in the playoffs, it's not always great.
No, but it's not terrible either. Like Winnipeg needs to score. That's the bottom line. Is that? Well, that's a very good point, Adelia. Very good point. Yeah. Do I think that'll be the end all be all for Colorado? No, not a Drouin injury. It'll hurt them, but it's not the end all be all. With everything that I've said and everything that I've heard you say and everything that I've, which is going on in this little brain in Ottawa, I'm going to go Winnipeg in 7.
All right. And yeah, we'll see. We will see. Am I going to white knuckle for at least 3 periods every time they play? Yeah, I'm never going to be comfortable. I'll never be comfortable.
I was going to say, you're going to white knuckle every game.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. Yeah, for my poor heart, I do not think that, she's also said, sorry, that Georgiev gives up at least 4 games lately. Well, we'll see. Playoffs are different. It's so tight.
Well, see, Adelia's doing this reverse psychology. I don't like it. He's doing reverse psychology.
We'll see. They had their hands full with Seattle last year, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, let's move on.
Next matchup.
So maybe it's a surprise of the National Hockey League this year. I think so. Vancouver versus Nashville. Vancouver won every game against them this year.
They did.
3-0. We take a look at goaltending. I think they're quite similar. Thatcher Demko had a very good year for them with 35 wins. But a 245 goals against average and a 918 save percentage, which is pretty good.
But he's
UC Saros, and UC Saros not having as good a year as you expect out of him, but still respectable. And again, no one was expecting Nashville to get into the playoffs this year either. He had a 35-win season, 286 goals against average, and a 906 save percentage. So you look at the defense, and again, I think it's going to come down to 2 things. They have 2, of course, very similar style players. One, of course, had, I think, a better season in Quinn Hughes with his 92 points and his plus 38. But Roman Josi was excellent.
He was fantastic this year.
And he has nobody. He has nobody back there.
You're correct.
85 points for him. He was plus 12. Yeah, it's so many.
Which is pretty good on Nashville.
Yeah, for Nashville, it was great. You'll take a look at their offense, and JT Miller showed up again. He gets 103 points somehow. JT Miller.
That's unreal.
Philip Forsberg gets 94 for the Preds.
It's fair.
Now, this is what I go for the X factor for me, was how good Vancouver was in the first half and trailed off. Yeah. Nashville wasn't doing well in the first half and really turned it on at the end.
They've escalated.
Which way do you want to go? So that's why I chose the Predators in 6.
Well, that's fair.
They also have Ryan O'Reilly and stuff. They have guys that won. You know what I mean?
They have grinders.
That led teams to win. That led teams to win because he absolutely led
St. Louis
to win.
St. Louis, yeah, you're right. I think that's a fair assessment of the series with your X factors and everything. I think everything comes down to Vancouver's goaltending. Mm-hmm. If Demko can be a shade of what he was in the first half of the season, I don't think Nashville has a chance. I really don't. I see Nashville they're tough because Roman Josi's so good, and Saros can steal you games as well.
He can when he's at the top of his game, when he's at the top. You have to see it. You have to see it. But yeah,
I still trust in Vancouver. I'm taking them in 7.
Okay. Home ice advantage to work out. Hopefully, if they lose, they don't riot. But you never know.
Well, if they do, they'll just be like, if they do,
they're wacky over there. They're wacky on the West Coast. Bunch of rioters.
They are.
Okay, one last one to go through.
One more.
Yeah. And for the 3rd straight season, we get the Oilers and Kings. The matchup.
Can we just say I hate this playoff format?
Yeah, I hate it. And I
But-
also hate both these clubs. So, yes, again, if there was huge accidents and none of these
Oh,
teams were able to complete the series and had to abandon their franchises forever, I'd be very happy. I'd be happy with it.
So this should be short and sweet when it comes to our predictions.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Okay, so Edmonton won. Edmonton won the season series, 3-1. Let's see the goaltending. Of course, neither team are going to be boasting about this. Stuart Skinner had 36 wins.
Stuart Skinner against Cam Talbot.
Yeah, a 269 goals against average, 910 save percentage. Cam Talbot's 250 goals against average, not too bad, and a 913 save percentage, not bad. 27 wins for Cam Talbot. They got Big Save Dave Riddick as their backup.
No, Big Save Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Defense. Has there been a bigger surprise than Evan Bouchard this year in the NHL? Unbelievable. Just taking over the number one spot for the Oilers, pushing Darnell Nurse. At least they can, if they have to, they can put him on the second defensive pairing now. It's not like that series against the Jets where the Jets swept them, where they could just keep attacking, and they have to keep Nurse out for 45 minutes a night. Bouchard's 82 points, a plus 34 plus minus. The Kings still have Drew Doughty in his teeth.
Okay,
it's nice. 50 points. He was a plus 15.
You mean his tooth?
Yeah, his one. Old Chomper. The old
Chomper.
This is what I put down for offense. McDavid had 32 goals and 100 assists. He decided to lay off the goal scoring this year. He wanted to focus more on the team game. Still gets 132 points. Zach Hyman had 54 goals.
Yeah. Thank you, McDavid.
Yeah, Leon Draisaitl, 106 points. Yeah, so they got 132 on one, 106 on the other, except for they probably got a bunch of those when they were on the power play together. It's sort of unfair. This is what I wrote for the X Factor for this.
Oh, no.
The Oilers might have Corey Perry, one of the players I like, absolutely least of all time in the NHL. But at least they don't have Pierre-Luc Dubois. Yes. Congratulations on all that money and all that term. Thank you for
nothing.
Thank you for Alex Follow, your second round pick. Thank you for Rasmus Kupari, even though he didn't score a goal this year, but he's very fast. This is my guess. Oilers in 4. I don't think this is not going to be a series.
I have Oilers in 6.
Ooh, okay.
I think LA will win a game or two here. There, obviously they're going to win 2, according to my prediction, but it's not going to be much. I think LA will win a couple of overtime games. It'll be close.
Yeah,
but in the end, in the end, Edmonton will win the series in 6.
Anze Kopitar is the only guy I can think of doing much for them, I guess. I don't know who else. Okay, so we got our predictions done for the first round. We're not gonna go on to predict a cup winner or anything like that. We're gonna do it as the thing goes along. Otherwise, why bother watching? Why bother watching, guys?
Exactly. We might as well just have a big long stream right now.
That's right. So let's do a quick talk here about individual awards. Of course, some of the end of season ones are already done. Rocket Richard Trophy to Matthews. Kucherov gets the Art Ross. The President Trophy, of course, is given out. The Jennings Trophy to the Jets. Let's start with the Coach of the Year. We'll start with Coach of the Year. Okay, Coach of the Year. Yeah. We'll go. You save the heart for last. I put down for my Jack Adams ballot Rick Tocchet, Paul Maurice, and Rick Bowness, and I have Tocchet winning it.
Oh, that's good. There's actually, you know what? Hey, Brennan. I never thought of Paul Maurice as a Coach of the Year because Florida was a good team to begin with.
They just snuck into the playoffs though last year. Like on the last day, they snuck in. They had a great run, and then this year.
But then they got a great run, so.
Yeah.
So I only put 2 down for my Adams,
Okay.
Jack Adams, because these are the 2 I think are the most deserving. I have
Sure.
Rick Tocchet.
Yep.
And I have Spencer Carberry.
Okay.
I love what Spencer has done with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Taking them from, they were not good. Like, yes, they squeaked in the playoffs, but hey, they still made the playoffs.
Yep.
And what he's done for that franchise, I think, because they've missed the playoffs the last few years. But Rick Tocchet is the NHL Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, this shouldn't be a surprise. I was surprised when he got hired. But yeah, the results to say is Rick Tocchet's
Yeah, I mean, you can't say
down.
nothing.
Such a turnaround. Let's see. For the Vezina Trophy, I just had one name. It's Hellebuyck. It's that close.
I have 2 names.
They should give him 2. They should give him 2 trophies.
I have 2.
Jennings.
That's right. I have 2. I have Hellebuyck, and then I have Shesterkin.
Yeah.
But there is only one winner.
Yeah,
and it is Connor Hellebuyck.
That one's an easy one. It should be an easy one for the voters as well. Calder Trophy. You have to keep in mind that Connor Bedard lost a lot of time to a broken jaw.
But I still only have one name on this list.
Yeah, he still got 68 points out of it. And as a rookie, he's the number 1 center on his team. So I don't know what else you're going to say. Like, congratulations to Brock Faber, who's doing good in Minnesota. He's playing almost 25 minutes a night. Yeah. And Luke Hughes was fine in New Jersey, except for
Luke Hughes was
terrible.
But I'm sorry, to me, that there is no discussion here. It's Connor Bedard.
It's Connor Bedard, 100%. Okay. For the Norris Trophy, I put down 3 names.
Okay. So did I.
Evan Bouchard.
Ooh, okay.
Cal McCarr and Quinn Hughes. And it's Hughes for me. And I don't think there should be no question to the voters. But what do you think?
Okay, I have 3 names as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Cale McCarr.
Yep.
I put Roman Josi.
Sure. Yep. Another good one. I had to pick between him and Bouchard.
And I have Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
And Quinn Hughes to me is the winner of the Norris Trophy.
He was great. Not only the points, but he's a plus 38 and a team that really turned things around this year. And he's the captain 100%. Of the club at his age and stuff like that. Great season for him.
You can't question what he has done for Vancouver. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
100%. He's not the biggest guy. Like, he isn't going to lay people out like a Yossi or anything like that, but he can do so much more. Okay. Hart Trophy.
Ooh, the big one.
The big one. Again, 3 names. Yeah, I know you had another one. I dropped one. Yeah, I dropped one.
I'm pretty sure I know the one you dropped.
Well, no, I don't know. We'll see. I got McKinnon. With his 140 points and the great things he's done in Colorado.
Wonderful season.
Kucherov.
Okay.
147 points, including 100 assists. A fantastic team. A lot of power play time. And then I went with Austin Matthews at 69 goals, which is really good. Like, and the only reason why I didn't say McDavid is because some other guy already got 100 assists and had 15 more goals. So there's no way that McDavid would get it over Kucherov. But I went with McKinnon. Yeah, I went with McKinnon to win.
You went with McKinnon to win?
Yeah.
So I agree. So basically, you and I have McDavid and Matthews flipped.
Yeah, that was the other choice. That was the other choice. It's like either one. There's no way McDavid can win over Kucherov, but maybe Matthews gets consideration.
If Matthews got to 70 goals, I don't think that there's a debate here.
Yeah.
I think if he got to 70 goals, I think Matthews is going to win this.
But 69, dude.
Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, okay, James Duthie. Keep it up. Goddamn TSN.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Ottawa native. James Duthie.
Yes, exactly. So, I have Matthews as number 4. I have McDavid as number 3. Number 1, I have Nikita Kucherov to win the Hart.
The most points.
And it's nothing against what Nathan McKinnon has done this year. He has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what Kucherov has done with Tampa, the 100 assist season, the points, just leading that team to, I don't think people were not predicting Tampa to be as good as what they were. And I believe Kucherov is one of the main reasons that he's been there.
He's been a real difference maker for them this year for sure, and he's dragging people. Adelia, I don't think that's a homer thing for her either. I think that's a genuine thing.
That's no homer right there. That's not a homer.
No. Yeah, but even still dragging Stamkos to 30 goals and stuff like that, like at his age and stuff like that, and with his wheels, not great, but yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I just well, I don't even know. Maybe it's because I've seen more of McKinnon this year than Kucherov. I just appreciate the way he plays a little more.
Honestly, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer when it comes to either
with
of
the
them.
With the two, if it's McKinnon, if it's Kucherov, I don't think like there's no surprise. They're both worthy winners at any other year and stuff like that too. So they were both 100%. Fantastic this year. Just want to talk quick before we go. The news: Phoenix moving to Utah. I remember.
Cool.
I remember when it became official that the Jets were leaving and going to Phoenix. I hated them. I hated the people of Phoenix. I've never even been there. I hated them with all my heart. The Jets basically got no chances. I don't think they got it. Like we had like kids, like we'd have rallies and stuff like that, trying to raise money. There wasn't the business here to do it. Plenty of business in Phoenix. No one just to go to the game. They keep moving out. They were put into that bad basketball arena where there was no sightlines or whatever. I don't know if they were ever at Winnipeg Arena. There was no sightlines in that. And the blue sky section is so terrible. So yeah, that's nice. But people weren't going to the games at the end for the Jets either. But that was always because there was always the rumors of them leaving and blah 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 blah. So they moved to Glendale. No one goes to those games either. They say, "Oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere." They're not making any fans in Glendale. Like you only need 17,000 hockey fans in a metro area of 1.5 million. They can't fill up that place. They say, "Oh, it's on the other side of the all the people that go to hockey." It's like, who are the other people that go to hockey? Like they were giving away tickets with bottles of vodka. Do you remember that?
At one point, yes.
Unbelievable. How many chances and how many different owners? Wayne Gretzky owned this team at one point. Wayne Gretzky owned this team and was the coach at the same time.
And coached this team.
Unbelievable. And then, with his buddy Rick Tocchet, who had to take the fall for supposedly Wayne's wife's gambling problems. So there you go. Anyways, was I upset at all? Yeah. Was I upset at all? No. No, I was not upset with the decision for them to leave. What I think is strange, and this is why I wanted to talk about it a little more. It's like good riddance, Phoenix, burn in hell. I don't care. They get to keep the name and the logos and all this other stuff for this 5-year period. If they can get the arena built in the middle of nowhere and get the water there that the city of Glendale said they can't do because we're going to fight this all the way because you're stealing our water supply to do it. Anyways, if they could, and there's such a good relationship between the Coyotes and Glendale. It's not happening. So they're basically sold the club for $1 billion to the NHL. So the NHL is going to make $700 million because they sold it for 1.5 or whatever to Utah or whatever. Good luck in Utah. I hope that the NHL, after this, Utah's when you think Utah, like they've had Winter Olympics. It's a winter sport city.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine there. It's fine.
It's a perfect destination.
Maybe it should have been Quebec City or something like that. I'm just saying. Maybe Quebec City would be fine. Maybe they're going to start. If they're going to go back to Phoenix in 5 years, like they say, which they're not.
Please no.
They're going to have to do expansion.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, it'll be like them. Houston will get a team finally. Quebec City probably at some point too. Never Hartford again, but whatever. I just remember being so upset when the team left here, and you didn't see any of that in Phoenix in their 5,000 seat
I know.
university arena.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
like
Joke.
why all the tears for
A
Phoenix in
joke.
27 years, 27 stolen years, 27 stolen
No,
years.
absolutely.
Disgrace. Good luck in Utah. I wonder if the Jets can
Yep.
get their old records back now. We never considered like they retired Ducky's number in Phoenix. Why? Why would you do that? One of those people saw him play. Not one of those people was
No,
their childhood hero, Dale Hawerchuk. He was my childhood hero, but
he
I saw him
was.
play for the Winnipeg Jets, not Phoenix Coyotes. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyways, good riddance, Phoenix. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, assholes. All right. That'll do it for playoff beers this edition. For the predictions edition, we're going to be probably doing some watch-alongs with the games coming out this year. We'll announce those when we figure out a day and a time.
100%.
Until then, Ryan, thanks very much for joining us this year.
Hey, thank you very much. You know, I decided to shave today, so I'm growing a playoff beard.
You're more manly than me. I'm afraid of my wife, and therefore I cannot grow a beard. I'm just gonna have the stubble while she's gone away on vacation. So you can tell how long Tenny is away for by the time how much stubble I got. So other than that, coming up on the network this weekend, LGRN After Snark, named after this guy. 50th birthday celebration stream. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Should be a lot of fun. We're doing that tomorrow night. That'll be at what time is it? 8 o'clock Central, I believe, 9 o'clock Eastern, something like that. Check
Something like that.
your local listings. We have on this very part of the network the highlights starting 11. That's every Tuesday. That's Adelia and I talking about the there we go, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, so I got it.
So you got it right.
Eastern. Yes.
9 Eastern.
See, Mom, I'm not a big dummy. All right, so playoff beards, starting 11 Tuesdays. That's our English Premier League show. Please join us for that. Thursdays on the main network we have Rewatchers Council. That's our full 144 episode rewatch. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I do that with Adelia. Brennan, who's in the chat, did the last episode with us. He'll be doing the next one as well. Can't wait for that. Lying to me. So, yes. Also, guys, watch out for all the. Just go to the website. Let'sGetReadyNetwork.com, I believe. Check out what all the shows are on there. It's easy. Adelia does it. She does a damn good job. Until then, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the hockey. And we will see you all next time. A bientôt en français. Pour vous.
Au revoir.
Oh my God.